ओम सद्गुरु श्री शेषाद्रि स्वामिகள் பாதுகாभ्याம் நமோ நமः. ओम महागणपतिये नमो नमः. ओम वेदव्यासाय नमो नमः. राधा रुक्मिणी सत्यभामा समेत श्री गोपालकृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमो नमः. Vedas are the prana shakti of the Purna Brahman, the supreme reality. Out of total compassion, the Purna Brahman enabled the rishis to decipher these vibrations, and the rishis were able to give Vedas to us. We always mention 7 rishis' name whenever we do the Sandhyavandanam. Atri, Bhrigu, Kutsa, Vasishta, Gautama, Kashyapa, Angirasa Rishaya. Vedavyasa grouped these Vedas into Rig Vedam, Yajurvedam, Samavedam, Atharva Vedam. He initiated his disciples into each one of these Vedas. Vedavyasa is the son of Parasara. Parasara is one of the greatest devotee of Lord Vishnu. We have a slokam mentioning the names of devotees of Lord Vishnu: Prahlada, Narada, Parasara, Vyasa, Ambarisha. Like that the sloka goes. We know about Prahlada, we know that Narada is the chief executive officer of Lord Vishnu. Parasara is next in the line, a great devotee, and his son is Vedavyasa. Vedavyasa grouped all the Vedas. He thought that he should also compose Mahabharata, containing the lives of noble souls who were living at the time when Mahabharata was composed, so that people will learn the practical application of Vedas. Mahabharata is called Itihasam. It was composed at the time when the people living at the time were there, and that is the history of the current people. In this Mahabharata, Bagavath Gita is the most important part. Bagavath Gita is universal and it is applicable in the past, present and the future. It gets the greatest significance because it contains the conversations between Arjuna, representing the human beings, and Krishna, who is the manifestation of the supreme reality or Purana Brahma. In Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, all the saints and Shankaracharyas have given their commentaries, and several Upanyasakas give erudite exposition of Bhagavad Gita. We are all amazed by these expositions. In the process, we look at the wood. We also need to see the trees, leaves and the fruits, and how they can be implemented in our day-to-day life in a routine way, so that we reap the greatest benefits from them. This lecture is an attempt, a modest attempt in that direction, and I propose to prioritize certain slokas in Bhagavad Gita, focus on certain slokas and events, so that we learn our lesson from that. As Tamil poet Thiruvallur said, "Karka learn, kasadara karka, learn fully and without any mistakes. Karka kasadara karka, katrapin nirka adarkitaha." I have to learn fully without any mistakes. You follow that, you stand by that. Then only we get the full benefit of these great Bhagavad Gita slokas, which are eternal and which have been given to us out of sheer sympathy for us. Now let me go to certain anecdotes on this. The Pandavas had completed their exile period. They wanted to come back to the kingdom and have their share in that. Duryodhana was the king ruling at the time, and Lord Krishna wanted to avoid the battle between the Pandavas and Kauravas, as any battle or war is costly in terms of resources and human lives. So he took upon himself the role of negotiating on behalf of Pandavas to Duryodhana. Duryodhana had kept a separate beautiful house for Krishna to stay there. He had made a lot of decorations in that. And when Krishna was going through the main roads of that capital, many VIPs have been waiting in the road to have a glimpse of the God, to pay respect to him and to welcome him. As we now see, when Prime Minister Modi is going to different states, people wait on the road. Lord Krishna came along and VIPs are waiting in front of their houses. Lord Krishna asks each one of them, "Whose house is this?" The person replied, "This is my house." That is what Drona, Kripa, Bhishma, Karna and other people said. Vidura was the cabinet minister in the cabinet. He was a simple man, highly devoted to God. He was very simple in his life, even though he was a cabinet minister. He was just doing puja in his house. And Vidura came out of the house to welcome, to respect God Krishna. Lord Krishna asked Vidura, "Whose house is this?" Vidura replied immediately, "This is your house. This is the house of Gopala." Other people said, "This is my house," and all that. But Vidura said, "It is your house." Lord Krishna was beaming with joy, and he immediately replied, "I never knew my mother Yasoda had built a house for me here, for me to stay." So saying, Lord Krishna briskly walked into the house of Vidura. Vidura was surprised that Lord Krishna is coming to his place. He had kept banana fruit as naivedyam for God. Since God himself is coming, Vidura wanted to give the banana to Lord Krishna. He felt it is proper to peel the skin of the fruit banana and give the fruit to the Lord. He was so much immersed in divine joy, divine romance. He lost himself. He peeled the skin, he peeled the fruit, left the fruit on the ground by mistake, and gave the skin of the fruit to God. Lord Krishna accepted it wholeheartedly, ate it, and said, I have never tasted I have never tasted such a sweet fruit. When I remember this anecdote, I remember the last sloka in Bhagavad Gita, where the Lord says, Sarvadharman parityajya Sarvadharman parityajya Mamekam taranam vraja Aham tva sarvapapebhyo Mokshayishyami me sucha Mokshayishyami ma suchaha. The Lord says, whoever surrenders to me, I remove their sins and give them moksha. Some people think they may do adharma also, but merely just like a gymnast, gymnast falling at the feet of the God's image, they can get moksha. That is not the intention of this sloka. A person like Vidura, who was in divine romance, lost himself in divine ecstasy when the individual soul has merged the cosmic soul. At that time, the body, mind, and mechanism is absent. So, whatever mistake committed by the body is not taken into account because the soul is already merged with the God and the body is doing the action as it is, as an independent entity. Maybe this one example, this one incident, Vitura giving this banana skin to God, which is accepted by God, can be taken as a meaning for this sloka in Bhagavad Gita. Gandhari is hailed as Dharma Darsini. Gandhari is held in very high esteem by all the sages. She is the mother of Duryodhana. Gandhari told Duryodhana, Yato dharmaha tata Krishna, Yato Krishnaha tato jayaha. Wherever dharma is there, Lord Krishna is there. Wherever Lord Krishna is there, victory is there. Hence, it is not correct to think that we can do adharma, but like a gymnast falling at the feet of the God's image, get moksha. We have to be very careful with that. Dharma is very supreme, and Dharma and Krishna are synonymous. Without Dharma, we cannot do any Saranagati to Lord Krishna. Then when Lord Krishna stayed with Vithura only that night, Duryodhana was disappointed. When Lord Krishna went to Duryodhana's assembly, Duryodhana said, forget the city, forget the town, forget the villages, forget the houses. I will not give any land, even to the tip of the eye of the needle to Pandavas, to any of the Pandavas. That was the attachment of Duryodhana to the land, the greed for land, and he thought all the great soldiers are all with him. He had all the resources, and Pandavas will be defeated in the battle. Ultimately, what happened? Duryodhana lost everything. All his relatives have gone. The land is gone, and Pandavas won the war. The greed for land is something which we have to avoid always. Ravana lost his life because of greed for women. Both the land and women, we have to be very careful about that. Then, when it was decided that the battle will happen, there is no other way. Pandavas have to prove their prowess and get the kingdom. Both Kauravas and the Pandavas met the other rulers and wanted their assistance in the battle. So also Duryodhana representing Kauravas went to Krishna. At the same time, Arjuna representing Pandavas went to Krishna for assistance. Lord Krishna, in his own inimitable way, he said, "Both of you are known to me. I want to help both of you. So I will give you an option. On one side, I will be there. I will not fight the war. I will not handle any weapons. To the other side, I will give all my elephants, horses, chariots, weapons. You decide for yourself which one you want." Without batting his eyelid, Arjuna immediately said, "Krishna, I want you only. I do not want any of these military assets." Duryodhana was very pleased, he was very happy. He thought Arjuna had made a big blunder by saying that he did not want horses, elephants, and all that. Actually, in Mahabharata battle, Pandavas had very little military assets. Duryodhana was having many times the military assets of Pandavas. So Duryodhana accepted that he will have only the horses, elephants, weapons, etc. Ultimately, what happened? Pandavas only won, and Kauravas lost the battle. This is a very important lesson for all of us. Many noble souls, they renounce everything for the sake of God, like Kanchi Mahapariva, Ramana Bhagavan, Seshadri Swami. There are many souls like that. But we ordinary people, we have not attained that much maturity to renounce everything and be devoted to God always. But what we have to realize is that whatever material comforts, luxuries we have, these are all creations of God. Nothing is created by us. God has created all this. Not only the rivers and mountains and all that, and all these assets also. So whatever comforts, luxuries we use, we should never forget the God. We have to be devoted to God. President Barack Obama, the past President of the United States of America, he is a Muslim by birth, but he had the picture of Hanumanji in his pocket always. When people asked him why he is doing like that, Obama said, "This picture of Hanuman gives me enormous courage to take very tough decisions. So also we people also, whenever we take decisions in our life, we should first pray to God, take the blessings of the God. One way of doing will be to remember God all the time, but many of us cannot do that. So at least when we get up in the morning, before we put our foot on the ground, we have to remember God's names, remember Him. Then when we take bath, as we are purifying the physical body, we should also remember the God's names for purification of the mind and the soul. When we take the food, we should do thanksgiving to God that we are able to eat so well when so many of us do not have even a single square meal. And then when we go out, we have to once again pray to God before going out of the house. And when we go to bed in the night, we have to remember the God one more time. Maybe we need to review all our day-to-day activities from the morning to night, from dawn to dusk, to see how much we helped others, how much we remembered God, how much we worked selflessly for others. This is a very important aspect of life. Do not forget the God. Always accept the pleasures of life that you got in the dharmic way, remembering the Supreme Soul, Purna Brahma. Then the battle started. There was no way to avoid the war. The battle started. But then, suddenly, Yudhishthira, who is eldest among the Pandavas, he removed his kavacham. He removed all his military armor. He got down from the chariot and he briskly walked towards the enemy side, towards the Kaurava side. All the soldiers were taken aback. What is Yudhishthira doing? He is a person known to be doing things for himself. Then Yudhishthira went all the way to the Kaurava side. Arjuna was a bit worried. He followed Yudhishthira. Lord Krishna also went along with Arjuna. Yudhishthira went straight to the chief of army of the Kaurava side, Bhishma Pitamaha. He prostrated before him, did Sastanga Namaskaram in the battlefield. And then he prayed to Bhishma Pitamaha, please bless that I win the war. Bhishma was moved with tears. Pandavas had all along been thinking that Bhishma was the father. Bhishma was actually the grandfather. Pandu died at a very young age. Bhishma only grew them up. Now, Kala Chakra has moved in a very devious way that Bhishma is a chief of army of the enemy side and Pandavas, his beloved children, are on the other side. Bhishma blessed Yudhishthira very heartily. He was moved to tears also. He blessed him heartily. Here we have a very important lesson. Parents are very supreme. Whether we like them or do not like them, whether we think that they are not as much educated as we are, we should respect our parents, father, mother, grandfather, grandmother, and all that. That's a Sanskriti of Bharat Kalachar. There's a sloka in the Dharma Shastra. A son is required to respect the views of the parents. The son is required to fulfill the needs of the parents. This is the second requirement. The third requirement is that when the parents die, father or mother, the son should immediately do the final rites as per the Shastras. Tasmat Sastram Pramanena Karya Karya. That's what Lord Krishna said. Shastras are mandatory. We have to do the last rite as per the Shastras. The fourth requirement is that at least once in a lifetime we are supposed to go to Gaya near Varanasi, do Pitru Puja there. Only when the son does all these four acts, he can be called a son, a putra. This is as per the Shastras. And whenever we have to take very important decisions, we have to take the views of the parents. That's what Yudhishthira did just before fighting a very important battle. He fell down at the feet of Bhishma Pitamaha. And not only Bhishma Pitamaha blessed him, he also said, if you had not done this, you would have lost the war. Bhishma knew that Lord Krishna is the incarnation of the supreme reality, Purana Brahman, the cosmic soul. But then he said it very categorically. Bhishma also knew that Lord Krishna is on the side of the Pandavas. Even then he said very categorically, if you have not bowed before me, shown your respect to me, Sartanga Namaskaram, you would have lost the war. That's a great lesson for us here. If we do not respect the parents, if we do not have their blessings, the blessings of God will not reach us. Whatever prayer we do to the God, we will not have the blessings of the God. On the other hand, if we are dutiful to our parents, that is more than sufficient. No further puja is required for the God. That's why Veda said, Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava. The great poet Avayar said, Annayim Pitavam Munnari Devam. Pundarika, all of us know go to the place, Pandarpur, Panduranga Vitala is now very famous. All are singing bhajans. Pundarika was doing a great service to his parents. Lord Krishna and Rukmani, they were very pleased with that. They wanted to come in person and see him and bless him. When we are dutiful to our parents, God will come knocking to our doors. That's a truth, that's a reality. Many of us have that experience. When Lord Krishna and Goddess Rukmani came to Pundarika, Pundarika was in the middle of his service to his parents. Pundarika came out and he put two bricks outside and he requested Lord Krishna and Goddess Rukmani to stand on those bricks till he completed his service to his parents. The gods are very much pleased. They stood. That's why Panduranga is called Vitoba. And after finishing his service to the parents, Pundrika came out and prayed to the God, offered his namaskarams and all that. And God asked him, "What is the boon you want?" Pundarika said, "I do not want any boon. The only thing I want is that you please remain here permanently and bless all the devotees who pray to you and come to you." That is the power of service to the parents. That's why Bhishma said, "Had you not respected me, you would have lost the war." With these anecdotes, I complete this first part. I will come back to you with other parts, picking up certain slokas from Bhagavad Gita. स्वस्ति प्रजाभि परिपालयन्ता न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महीषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यो शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु कायेन वाचा मनसा इन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. Thank you.